When you come in, have a seat quietly and wait for my directions. Go ahead. Good. Come on in, have a seat quietly. I know. Huh? Okay, so boys and girls, we're going to jump right into our P4C circle. We talked about this yesterday, that today is going to be a plain vanilla. So let's make sure that we're ready. Take a look at your desk. These are the things you're going to need. Hold up your dry erase marker. Hold up your dry erase marker. Good. Hold up your whiteboard. Hold up your social studies notebook. Hold up your pencil. Nice. Bless you. Stack all those things and then give me your eyes real quick. Man, you guys are on it. Love it. Okay, so before we start, we know that today you guys get to, it's a plain vanilla, so you get to choose any question. We talked about this yesterday. I told you to start thinking, right? What's some of the criteria we've used in the past that helps us build a good philosophical question? So think about it. If you know at least 2 pieces or 2 examples of good criteria for a philosophical question, put your hands on your head. Good. If you know at least 3, touch your nose. Good. I see Mike's looking over there if you've forgotten. Nice. Put your hands on your knees if you know all of the pieces or all of the criteria. Great. When I say go, turn and talk to your neighbor, tell your neighbor all the things you need to remember. Ready, go. Turn and talk. Good. Good. Okay, Tootsie Roll, Lollipop.
We were talking, now we stop.
Nice. Who can tell me one thing we need to remember when we think about a good philosophical question? Mike, give me one.
It's open-ended.
It's open-ended. Good. Give him 2 claps. Go. What else? Alana?
Not a Google question.
We don't want it to be a Google question, right? Good. Give her 2 claps. Go. Miss Maya?
Everybody can talk about it.
We want everybody to talk about it. So the example I always give you guys is I can't ask you a question about being born and raised in Alaska because were you born and raised in Alaska? No, that's not something you guys can talk about with me. I can only talk about it. Good. Give her 2 claps. Go. What else, Lindsay? It makes you wonder. Should it lead to more questions? Yeah. Good. Give her 2 claps. Go. Anything else? Ella? We should be able to use that Good Thinkers Toolkit to help us explore and navigate and think philosophically around your question. All right, good. Give her 2 claps. Go. So here's what we're going to do. Listen to all my directions first. You're going to write your question on your whiteboard. And then you're going to take, when you're done with your question, all of your things. So whiteboard, notebook, pencil, and marker over to the rug. Hold on to your question. Okay? Do you know what you're going to do? Turn and tell your neighbor, what are you going to do? Good. All right. Go ahead. Write your question down and then meet us over on the rug. These 2 tables, when you guys are done, can you scoot your tables over? Okay. Go ahead. Wow, quick writers right away. If you're getting stumped and you don't have something in your head, remember you wrote some questions down in your notebook the last few weeks, and that's a good place to look if you can't think of something off the top of your head. Good, Noah Teeter. I like that. Good question for our class. What are you wondering? Is it right to do what? Good. Take your stuff over. Nice. Thank you for doing it quietly. Whoa. Who's this? I got you, Mike. Where are you going? Okay. Good, Grant. Awesome. Wow. All right, come on over. Try to make plenty of space. You should have your notebook, your pencil, your dry erase board, and your dry erase marker with you right now. Good, Grant. Dash, can you scoot just a tad towards Max? Good. Okay. So try and scoot over, maybe make a little bit of room. Be a problem solver, see if you can get in. If you notice somebody needs a spot, let's invite them in. Thank you, Noah. No, Teeter, can you scoot a little bit towards Caleb? Thanks. Great. Okay. I think we're just about in. Is that somebody's chair behind you, Noah Jones? No? You can kind of flip it around. There you go. Awesome. Okay, we're all in. So before we start, let's go over our agreements that we have when we come together for P4C. Take a look over this way. Whisper rule number 1. Ready, set, go.
Only the person holding the community ball is speaking.
Good. Show me what that motion looks like, your silent reminder to your friend. Awesome. So if your friend today is talking and they don't have the community ball, that's what you can show them. Great. Number 2, in your 5th grade voice. Ready, set, go.
We come together to think, listen, and talk.
Good. Show me what think looks like. Great. Show me listen. Good. And show me talk. Good. And that's why we're here together today. Go ahead and finish up your question and put your cap on. All right. We always have the right to pass. If you get the ball and maybe you're not quite ready, what can you say? Ready, go.
I need more time to think.
Good. And that just means I just need a little bit more time. I'm still listening, but I just need some more time to share. And the last one is always the most important, and it is to what?
Be respectful.
Show me what that motion looks like if somebody next to you needs the reminder to be respectful. Good. All right, cool. So today we're going to do what we did the last time, where we will read our questions, and then we'll throw them in the center. Do you guys remember doing this? Okay. And then we will take a chance to vote. And I want you to think today about when you choose your question. Let's make sure that it follows our criteria for being a good philosophical question, okay? Do I need to pick my best friend McKenna's question? No, not necessarily. Okay, do I need to pick the question that everybody else is picking? No, pick something that is super interesting to you, all right? So we'll go around and we'll read ours, and then you guys can toss them in the center. The only thing I ask, can you read them in your loud 5th grade voice? Yeah? Okay, cool. Do you want to start? Okay.
Why do people look at the outside of people instead of the inside?
Good.
Why are kids afraid of getting embarrassed? What would it be like if we never had to eat? What if we were never born? How do you think people are rated? Do you think people are rated? Is Siri equal? Why do we have holidays? Why do parents give you a punishment when you do something wrong? Should we get allowance for cleaning up our own messes?
Question.
Is the universe endless? What would happen if the world was always fair?
Wow.
People need a start. Why do we have unhealthy foods? Why do people fight if they know it's wrong? What would happen if figurative language was taken literally? Why do kids get underestimated? Why do some people not take things seriously?
Good question.
What would the world be like without adults? people bully when they know it's bad?
Do students listen to their teachers?
What if we didn't write? Is it right to judge an animal by its cover? Why can't people resist doing bad things?
What would happen if adults were smarter than kids in the whole universe?
Why do we have nightmares? Why do people care so much about what other people think of them? What would happen if everybody in the world looked exactly the same?
Oh, wow. You guys came out with some good ones. Give yourself a pat on the back. Tell yourself, oh, you're so smart. That's impressive, you guys. I can't wait to see what you choose. Before we start, let's go ahead and go over our Good Thinkers Toolkit just so we can get this out of the way. If you know what R stands for, put your finger on your nose. Good. Turn and whisper to your neighbor. Good. Shout it out. What does it stand for?
Reason.
Good. If you know what I stands for, put your hand on your head. Good. Whisper to a neighbor. Good. Shout it out.
Inference.
Awesome. E. Ooh. If you know it, clap your hands once. Ooh. Whisper to a neighbor. Good. What does it stand for?
Examples are evidence.
Nice job. We've got T, my favorite. Oh, one of my favorites. If you know it, bark like a dog. Does a dog say bark, 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 bark?
No, it could.
They say rough, rough, rough. All right. Whisper to a neighbor. What does T stand for? Is it true? Good. Shout it out.
Is it true?
This is actually my favorite. I lied. If you know this one, meow like a cat. Good. Whisper to a neighbor.
What does it mean?
You got. Try it again. Whisper to a neighbor. Good. Shout it out. Ready? Go.
What do you mean by?
That's my favorite. A. This was the one where we used QQs. QQs. If you know this, put your hands on your head like a moose. Whisper to a neighbor. Good. Shout it out.
Assumption.
So we look for QQs, right? Questions within a questions to make sure that we are acknowledging the assumptions and we are agreeing that they are true. And the last one is, if you know this one, snap your fingers. Good. Whisper to a neighbor. Good. Shout it out.
Counterexample.
Good. Noah, sit up, please. So we're going to use our toolkit today as we decide what question we're going to answer and as we go about answering it. So how many votes do you get?
2.
Can you pair them up? Yes. Yeah? Can you split them up?
Yes.
Yes. All right. We're going to do them in tally mark. So grab your Expo pen. If you are numbers 1 through 15, go vote. You have 5, 4, good, 3, good, 2, find your seat in 1, Z, E, R, Miss G. Okay, if you're 16 through 29, go. Can I vote? Yes or no?
16 through 30.
16 through 29, go.
What about 30 years
Shh,
old?
10. Shh. Oh gosh. 9. Oh gosh, 8. 7. 6. 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, Miss G, will you help me take a quick look here? Yeah. Oh, we've got.
That's actually 2.
Oh, okay. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7. I know.
Should we have a double vote? 2 top?
Yeah. Actually, this has more. Okay, let's do a. Where's the Siri one?
Right here.
Okay. Let's do a vote off. We've got 2 that have a lot of votes. Let's do a vote off. Actually, we got 3. I lied. Okay? So we have these 3. So I'm going to give you one more chance to vote. Is Siri evil? Remember, we want to think about what makes a good philosophical question. Should it be open-ended? Yeah. Should it have lots of answers? Should it be interesting? Okay, so think about that. We want to vote for a good philosophical question. So we've got, is Siri evil? What would happen if figurative language was taken literally? And why do kids get underestimated? So you're going to vote for one of the three. Let's do magic rocks. Okay? So hide your eyes. Show your hand when I read the question and you'd like to vote. Miss G, maybe could you help me be a counter? Okay. Why do kids get underestimated? Raise your hand if that's the question that you would like to talk about. Nice and high. Okay, good. Hands down. What would happen if figurative language was taken literally? Raise your hands high. Good. Hands down. And is Siri evil? Good. Okay, great. Hands down. Okay, open your eyes. So the question that you guys voted for was, why do kids get underestimated? Whose question is this? Mr. Julian, can you give us some background information, like what made you think this? What do you mean? Coming over. Mia, watch out. Oh, blocked. What do you mean by this? What made you think this?
People, like, when they see little kids, they always say, oh, you shouldn't go there. It's too, you're not smart enough to do that. Or,
Because you are a kid.
yeah, because kids
Oh.
always tell you, you're not going to do it because you're too small.
Okay, cool. So let's grab our notebooks. At the very top, make sure you have your date. The question is, why do kids get underestimated? Thanks, bud. Good. So at the very top, write the question. Question was today, why do kids get underestimated? I'm going to do some writing too. Good. We're going to write for maybe a minute. So a minute solid. So don't let your pencil stop. Anything that comes to your head, any thoughts about why do kids get underestimated? Kenna, come on, bud. Good. Okay, you've got about 10 seconds. Once you finish up your thoughts, go ahead and put your book down under your chair. Grab your whiteboard that you threw out. You can put that under your chair too. If you're still writing, finish up your sentence. Awesome. Did I steal yours? Which one is yours? Thanks, Declan. Good. Okay. Go ahead and put your book down under your seat. So today I'm going to keep track of all the different tools that we use today. So if I miss one, maybe just give me a silent signal, or I'll try and pay good attention to it. Last time, when we reflected in P4C, something we said we wanted to work on was hearing from everybody. Do you remember that? Yeah? So we wanted to make sure that we were hearing from everybody. And some of us were saying, Mike brought up a good point about listening. And he said, just because we're quiet, does that mean we're listening? So today, can we maybe try working on active listening too? Think that would be a good focus? And hearing from everybody? Yeah.
Maybe we could pass the ball around the circle first.
That's true. I think because, I like your idea. I think because everybody has an opportunity to throw, to choose, maybe I think you guys can handle hitting everybody. You guys are good at that. Okay? You ready? So because Julian started us off, let's hear, Julian, your thoughts first. about this question, then we can open it up and figure it out.
I think adults, they're too small to do things because sometimes kids can break things a lot, but sometimes they can think things that adults can't. And yeah.
Okay.
I also agree with Julian. Like, I don't think adults, like, they think kids don't have enough, I guess, knowledge to do, like, things that are worthwhile. So they underestimate them. And because, like, we're small, we're usually shorter than adults, much shorter. And then, we're not as, I guess we can't do as much things. Like, we don't have as much freedoms as adults do. And that's fine, I guess, because it's not like a kid could drive a car. But I do think that adults underestimate kids because, like, they don't think that we're responsible enough to do enough things. Mackie.
Okay, so I think that adults I think kids get underestimated because sometimes adults want them to be safe, and so sometimes we want to say, oh, I would really like to do that stunt, and then the adults would be like, no, you can't do that, and I think some kids might say, oh, they're underestimating me, but in reality, they're just trying to keep you safe.
I think adults are, same thing like Mackie said, are trying to keep you safe, but I also think that the adults think or know that we don't have a lot of common sense, so, and we break a lot of stuff, so yeah. But we can do a lot more things than adults can, so I guess we have pros and cons. Bella?
So going on, like, what type of underestimate? Like, just to keep us safe? I mean, like, if there's, like, this super hard, like, work my dad or someone does at, like, when they go to work, and they're like, you can't do this, you're not smart enough. And, like, what if they can, like, do a giant sheep? And, like, they maybe underestimate, because sort of it's just sort of unfair, because you have to be like this 3-year-old who's extremely smart. He's like Einstein, except junior. Charlie. I had a question. Do we underestimate ourselves? Alana.
What do you mean by underestimate? Because Mackie said in reality they're just trying to keep you safe. But then Mikey said they're probably underestimating you because you don't have enough knowledge. Tiani?
I think like a lot of adults, they like think that kids are too young, and then they like say like, I'm older than you and you can't do anything. And they think like when there's like glass or something, they don't want you to hold it because they think you're like clumsy and they're gonna drop it.
Well, I was kind of next. Like, maybe adults think we're gonna break things, because in movies, all kids usually do play video games, eat unhealthy stuff, and break things. So I think they underestimate us because they think we'll pick the most unproductive thing and do bad stuff, like break things.
Okay, so Carter, I'm wondering, are you saying that society, by showing us commercials and things, that they are teaching us to be, teaching you guys as kids to be clumsy and lazy and all that? Or, like, I guess, is that true? Is it true what those commercials are showing?
Well, I mean, I don't really think it's true to most kids, but adults might think it's true. true. Like, just because, I mean, a kid plays video games for 5 minutes every day, they might think, I mean, that's what they're doing, like the commercial. So I think that's, I mean, it doesn't really make kids try to be like that, but it makes adults think that most kids are like that. I would like to invite McKenna.
Nice.
Going back to Charlie's question, I think that kids might underestimate themselves because parents or guardians are feeding them all this information that they can't jump off a diving board. Like, that's example. But
Oh. What do you mean by that? The parents are telling.
yeah, they're feeding them information that they can't do this, so the kids don't think they could do it. Mike.
Okay. I agree with Callahan, and like when they're trying to keep you safe, they will say things like, "Oh, you can't do that," but kids, I guess, are like sponges. They'll absorb a lot of things around them. Like if an adult keeps on saying, "You're never going to be able to do this. It takes a lot of hard work, and you're not that kind of person," it could be true, but then the kid will stop trying, and then he'll get all upset, and he'll stop trying to do other things because other people and adults are telling them, "You can't do this because you're little and you don't do this kind of stuff. It's too much for you."
Good. I see some new hands that have come up.
Kind of like what Mikey said, and like an example of what Callahan said, like usually if you're trying to do something and you do it really hard for a really long time and your parents see you and they're like, "Nah, you can't do that. She's never gonna do that." And then they tell you like that you're probably never gonna get it, you might just stop trying.
I kind of think it depends who the adult is, and because, for example, my sister, she's 6, and she wants to go on a ride at the carnival, and the guy who's in charge of it says, "You can't come because you're not tall enough," even though there's like 6-year-olds who are exactly the same height on that ride. And we asked them, "Oh, can't she like partner up with her big sister?" And they still say no. Although and then we come back a second time, it's a different guy. He says, "Oh yeah, sure, you can come with your big sister."
Kind of agree with Carter. People kind of think that kids are gonna be clumsy and gonna break everything they touch. That's why like some stuff say like, "Oh, kids cannot touch," or like kids can't go into this store because stuff like it's fragile and this stuff. Miss Holly?
So I'm kind of hearing a lot of you guys are saying, like parents or adults think this. So somebody asked a question over here, and I don't know who it was, about what if we had no adults. Grant, was that yours? About adults. So I'm wondering what would happen if adults were not there to put limitations on kids. Would you guys be raised as like cave kids, or like, do you know what I mean? If your parents never said to you, "Don't touch that, it's hot," what would happen? Or if your parents never said to you, "You need to brush your teeth every night," or if your parents said to you like, "No, you can't do that," because they're trying to keep you safe, what would happen if our parents were never there, or no adults were ever there to limit us? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah? Kaden, I'm coming to you.
If our parents were there, the world would be a mess.
Why?
Because that's what I would do.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, it could be a mess, but sometimes it can't. Like, my dad, he doesn't always tell me, "Don't touch that, that's hot," because
Callahan.
he wants me to learn for myself that it's hot. Like,
don't
Callahan.
think it's hot. I mean, I'm probably will touch it because I don't really know how hot it is. So if I touch it, my dad will say, see, now you know not to touch that. And I was also thinking, I was wondering if an adult tells a kid that they're too little to do that they'd stop trying. I was wondering if that was true, because in a lot of movies and stuff, a lot of people are told they can't do it, but somehow they they do it. And yeah, that's why I'm kind of wondering if that's true. Declan.
Nice, Carter.
Well, I agree with Carter because if someone tells you don't touch it or don't do it, kids are curious, so they're gonna do it.
Oh.
Well, it wouldn't be totally a mess because kids can be wise too. In fact, the most important piece of advice may come from a child. I kind of agree with Hannah because sometimes a kid could actually try it and then they could tell a friend like, oh, don't do that, or like to do this instead. So we might actually, as kids, might learn the stuff we know now, just we wouldn't have the help of parents.
Well, I'm hearing a lot of parents, so I'm wondering, were we raised by being insecure?
Oh, what do you mean? I like that.
Because, I mean, like Cinderella, people say that you can't do it, and sometimes our parents are trying to keep us safe sometimes.
So you're wondering, were we raised to be insecure? Ooh. Do you know what insecure means?
Yeah.
Can you explain what do you mean by insecure?
Like, you can't do as many things.
So, like, on to like Rasal's question, what would happen if adults were never here? But at the beginning of the universe, there was just this small girl or boy, and it didn't start with adults. Like now we're like this.
Oh. Oh.
With like a baby or something, and then
I see some new. Oh, go ahead. I see some new hands.
become like adults, but like it started with a baby. Like it didn't start with a fully grown adult.
Interesting. Good. I see some new hands, Noah Jones.
I'd like to pass it to Maya.
Okay, I think a lot of kids are underestimating themselves because they think that we're going to make a mess of everything because of past events that we've done. So I think we're underestimating ourselves, that we can't just be all, I guess, not messy and stuff like that. So we're underestimating ourselves.
Dash. Well, first, like everyone's been saying that adults are trying to tell us to be, trying to get us to be safe, but still, I honestly, if it's logical, like they tell us don't go walking in the middle of the street, and we're like, but why on earth would we just go dawdling in the middle of the street? That's not really that smart. So I'm pretty sure that age and size doesn't really matter because they see that we can't do this and do that, but adults have just as good chance of chopping off their arm with a chainsaw as we do. Eden.
I think adults underestimate us because usually in the world, adults usually have more power. And like,
want you to learn. Like, they don't have to tell you, like, no, that's hot, or they don't have to tell you that because, like, if you try it, then you'll know not to touch that because you'll know next time if you touch it.
Well, when I was, are we making the assumption that kids are always underestimated? Because my grandpa, I don't really think he underestimates me or the rest of the kids in my family. Because, I mean, he can really think I can do anything that's not, like, impossible. So, yeah, I'm wondering, I think we're just making the assumption that all kids are always underestimated. Mike, I agree with Carter that we do make the assumption, but I think if kids got the opportunity to see like all the freedoms and that kind of stuff that adults have, I think a lot of the kids would thrive because adults think that we're automatically going to make a bad decision, but we're never going to know which right or wrong decision for which situation if we don't get to make any. Because like if adults don't really like obey and they're always saying, can't do this, you can't do that, it's not safe. It could be unsafe, but you're not gonna ever really get to live your life and do something if you're always gonna be like second doubting yourself. Because like a kid, they would run back and try saving someone without thinking. An adult would, I think an adult would second doubt themselves and say, this is the danger, this is what I think I should do, but wait, maybe I should do this. A kid, I think, would just run in there without thinking at all and just try doing something, which I personally think is better, depending on the situation. Brent.
I think parents tell them not to do it. They're not mature enough or old enough. When parents aren't looking, when kids just sneak off and do the thing. And some parents say you're not mature enough to get like a phone or like say bad words and hang out and go far places. And they tell you to wait till you're 18 or 19 to do it. So that they're slaying you not to do it.
Good word.
Matt?
Hi. Okay. I infer that adults are making an assumption, they're making an assumption that we don't have very much common sense, but they're not teaching us, like, sometimes we get smart from street smart, like by doing it ourselves. Like, if I'm on the monkey bars, I know not to let go of the monkey bars and go flying across the park. I'm not going to do that because I've never done it before, but I'm pretty sure it's going to hurt. So that's what I'm saying about street smart. You get it from yourself when your parents don't teach it to you. Tiani.
Just wanted to invite Shane.
So, what I hear a lot of is you're getting underestimated by your parents, but you could get underestimated by your classmates or whoever you hang out with. Because of either how irresponsible you are, like how short you are or how young you are. You can be irresponsible at times when it comes to different things. But if it's this one thing that you want to complete, you're not going to be underestimated. Like, you don't want to be underestimated. Miss G.
So I was kind of thinking that all adults were once children, right? So people my age, or even our parents, my parents, your parents, they were all once kids, right? And their adults, when they were kids, the adults in their lives were telling them those things, and they probably were saying some of the same things. But then now they've become adults, and now they're saying those things. So I'm wondering if it's kind of just like a part of life and the stage that you go through. Because when I was a kid, people told me those things sometimes, and I'm thinking the same thing, like, oh, I don't need to hear that, I don't need to hear that. That's not fair. But then I became an adult, and now I'm saying those things to kids. So maybe us adults are onto something.
Callahan, please stop. Thank you.
Kind of adding on to what Mikey said, like adults, I think, will doubt themselves before they do something most of the time because, I don't know, this is just a weird example. If they're thinking of buying a present for their friend and then they see something else and then they say, oh, I'm going to buy this too. And then they just keep on buying things. Kids will just find something, and like, okay, my friend will like that, buy it. That's it.
I want to say something around this cheese. Maybe it's passed on and also shaped. Why do people underestimate when they're like in the same grade as you and pretty much the same thing?
We have time for about three more, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up.
So, is it true that adults have more power than kids? And do younger kids have second guesses or second, I guess, I don't know.
Second guess.
Yeah, second guesses about themselves. Like, is it always adults who second guesses?
Is it true that adults only underestimate kids? Because some adults can underestimate other adults.
Thank you.
So, when I grow up, I want to be a professional athlete, and my parents keep on saying that you have to be the best in the state, and then they say you have to be the best in the country, and they keep on going. And I tell them that I'm not ready to give up, and they keep on trying.
Oh, good. Maybe last thing from last person.
Well, I need more time to think.
Well, I think people underestimate other people and tell them that because they think like, oh no, that's not safe, and they don't even want to try it because they're so insecure.
Yikes. Wow, you guys, I wish we had some more time to think about it. Is anybody thinking anything different right now? Oh, my head is going. Before we reflect, hold on for just a second. Take a look at your guys' Good Thinkers Toolkit. You guys impressed me today because a lot of you were questioning truths and assumptions, and that's big thinking, you guys, from fifth graders, because you are wondering, are these things even true that we're saying, Grant? We're wondering, are these things true? And like, wait a minute, are we making an assumption when we say that? Because this is a really big topic that my kids last year asked the same question. So it's not just a thing that you guys are thinking about, like Ms. G is saying. This is something that kids have thought about for generations and generations. So it's really cool to hear you guys kind of discovering and dissecting it. Let's end with a little bit of reflection. I want you to write down one thing, either one question or one new thought that you have after today. So grab your notebook under your kind of pre-write, one new question, Noah, or one new thought that you're having now based off of our conversation today. When you're done, put your pencils down so that I can see. I'd love to hear some of your new thoughts or your new questions to wrap up. Noah, just leave it, bud. Good. Last new thought or a new question? Good. Who haven't we gotten to hear from? Julian, since this is your question, what is your new thought or your question now? What are you wondering? What are you thinking?
Why do we think good questions are funny questions?
Why do we think good questions are funny questions?
If kids had the same freedoms as adults, how would it work out?
I was wondering, why do some adults try to make kids feel bad?
Good, Carter.
If kids don't like something, then why do they have to be so negative about it? Like, why can't they actually have some pros? Lindsay?
Why do people think we can't do what they can do? Do we trust our parents?
Good question. Yeah, you can. Don't underestimate yourself.
Why do people underestimate and judge others?
Last thing. Maybe somebody we haven't gotten to hear from yet today.
Why do parents underestimate kids' dreams?
Interesting. Cool. Good last thoughts. Let's do a bit of reflection. So using only your thumb today. Was our topic interesting to you? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways. I'm going to wait till I see everybody's thumb because I want to see. Okay, so I see kind of a lot of thumbs up, but I see some sideways. No, Teeter, how come your thumb is sideways?
It was pretty interesting, but, I guess. I don't know really how to explain that.
Okay. Okay. All right. I thought, looks like majority of us think that was pretty interesting. Anybody have any new thoughts today? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways? Nice. Look around. It looks like the majority of us have our thumbs up. That's an indication that we went deep with our thinking today. So give a neighbor a high five. Tell them, good job. Nice job. How did you think, Mike, this one's for you. How did you think our listening was today? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways? How was our listening today as a class? Callahan, how come you're in the middle there?
You don't know if people are listening, really.
What do you mean by that?
Because someone could have just been sitting there pretending they're listening.
So you were unsure if people were actually listening?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, me? Okay. Were we intellectually safe today? Was our respect level okay and we had an intellectually safe community? Did you guys feel safe in our community today? Nice. Awesome, you guys. All right, we're going to end with our philosophies, all right? So we'll do 3, regular voice, whisper, and then
Wake up my mom.
Yeah, let's
wake up Declan's mom who's across the street. Okay? She's sleeping? Oh, boy. She work late? Maybe? Okay. All right, ready? Regular voice. Ready, set, go.
Philosophy, yes.
So if you have your pencil in your hand, put it down and join us. Whisper, ready, set, go. Okay, wake up Declan's mom. Ready, set, go! Philosophy, yes! Awesome. All right, boys and girls. Awesome job today. You guys nailed it. That was probably one of your best P4Cs ever. Would you agree? Yeah. You guys are rock stars. Take your things back to your seat. Miss Gia is ready for writing. Yeah? Go ahead and clean off your desk. Put your notebooks away. Put your whiteboards away. Erase your whiteboards. Let's get cleaned up.